Meet Bill, a 40-year-old man who is dissatisfied with his appearance, his family, his wife, his job at the bank, and his life in general. A young man ran into the school restroom and asked not to be seen by the principal. He quickly dumped the contents of the sachets into the toilet. Bill did not turn the offender in. Later, the principal told him about the mentoring program. He could become a mentor for one of the students. The young man wanted to thank Bill and slipped him a few dollars, but he refused. Bill was important in the school, started a school chapel, and had ambitions to become mayor one day. Bill accidental. He slapped his wife, Jess, in the face while she was talking to a local reporter, Chip Johnson. Bill noticed that his wife was acting too freely with a man she had just met. Bill worked for his father-in-law, a bank owner, but no one took him seriously. He dreamed of owning his own donut business and even offered his father-in-law to invest in a franchise. But he refused, saying that he didn't eat donuts himself, and Americans generally avoid carbohydrates. So, Bill had to go behind his back, as promised by the school principal. A student was sent to Bill. It was the same boy from the restroom. However, Bill refused to participate in the mentoring program because he did not want to take care of the student. When he returned home, he found his wife flirting with someone on the phone and realized that she was planning to meet someone while he was away hunting with his father-in-law. Stressed, Bill ate another chocolate bar, even though Jess had told him not to eat sweets. She lied about being on the phone with her mom. Bill had received a call about the franchise, and now Jess was getting jealous, asking who he was meeting with tomorrow. Bill saw the report from the school and felt ashamed of his stomach, which was in the picture. He noticed that he really had a problem with his figure. In the morning, he hinted to his wife that it would be nice to start their own business. But Jess relies on her father for financial matters, not her husband. Bill was annoyed with the reporter Chip Johnson. He cut out his figure from a magazine and started making jokes with it, as well as with his wife's photo. Jess did not appreciate the joke and told him that 3 school children were waiting for him downstairs and he had to walk them through the school. Disgruntled, Bill showed the children the hallway and went to a business meeting. The franchise owners, the Whitmans, approved the deal, but wanted to meet with Bill's wife because she also owned the money he planned to use to open the business. It turned out that everyone in town knew and respected Bill's older brother. He asked why he didn't tell his father-in-law that he didn't like hunting. Bill explained that he had to pretend because his father-in-law paid all his bills before the hunt. Bill installed a camera in his bedroom. 2 school children were also taken along for the hunt. Although Bill didn't like it when the dog refused to fetch the duck, Bill had to drag it. Upon returning home, he immediately ran to the camera and hid it under his jacket. However, what he saw on the tape shocked him. Jess was indeed cheating on him with Chip and even mocked her husband. Angry Bill wondered who to punish first, Chip or Jess. He burst into the kitchen and showed his wife the camera, but she brazenly declared that it was forbidden to interfere with private life. She even demanded that he hand over the tape. Meanwhile, Chip was reporting from the hospital where Bill had attacked him and ended up in the police station. The students liked Bill and they found in him a real mentor. They greeted him with applause and cheers. The children did not like the lying reporter. The boy promised his mentor to help him with his wife and employee. Walked into Bill's office and told him that the video of his wife had been sent to all bank employees via email. Jess, upset by this news, was no longer worried about herself, but about Chip's career. Bill arrived at the reporter's house and fired a shotgun at the house. Chip was just dyeing his hair and asked Bill to stay away from him. Bill lost his nerve, knocked his wife's lover to the ground again, and it was broadcast again from his prison cell. He went to his brother's house, and Paul invited him to go swimming together. Bill used to swim a lot, but now his old swimming trunks barely fit. Swimming helped him clear his head. His father-in-law asked Bill to solve his family problems and be calmer. When Bill and the Whitmans were choosing a place to build a store, he lied that he still couldn't arrange a meeting with his wife. In this case, the Whitmans wanted to see the bank where their business partner worked. A schoolboy was already sitting in the office. A girl was also barging in, unhappy that she hadn't been invited to the hunt, claiming it was discrimination. The boy liked spending time with the strange banker. Together, they went to the store to choose Bill a new pair of swimming trunks. The student advised him to make Jess jealous to get her back. Bill bought binoculars to spy on his wife and Chip. as well as other women. The schoolboy came to him again. The couple was being too noisy, and Jess realized that her husband was spying on her. His belly sticking out of the bushes gave him away. Jess took out Bill's clothes in a garbage bag and told him that she had seen him in the bushes with his young friend. Bill decided to dye his hair too, if Jess liked that kind of thing. He continued to swim, and even in the pool, the schoolboy kept up with him. Looking at himself in the mirror, Bill decided to get rid of the hair on his chest. And then something unexpected happened. When he opened a chocolate bar, he didn't eat it, but threw it in the trash along with the rest of his sweets. Now, Bill was going to update his wardrobe. A young friend offered to find him a girlfriend to help make his wife jealous. The guy was ready to pay Lucy $100 to play the role of a mistress. Lucy hesitated, especially since she said it was Bill's fault. Finally, Bill found some clothes that didn't make him look bad. Refreshed, he came to Jess and gave her a gift. Today they had a family dinner, but Bill immediately lost his appetite. When his mother-in-law told him that the sauce was made from acorns, suddenly Bill almost broke a tooth. Suddenly, John, Jess's brother, started shouting and said that Bill was an ungrateful person. They had given him everything, even a position to work in their family bank. Jess suddenly stood up for her husband. Her father-in-law announced that he was running for mayor and asked everyone to behave properly from now on. He didn't know that a video of his daughter was circulating online and that it was made by his son-in-law. Bill invited his wife for a cup of coffee. Lucy, who had already agreed to play the role of the mistress, approached them and began to flirt with her husband. Then Bill suddenly started talking about how profitable that donut franchise was. But his wife was more concerned about the video that millions of people had already watched. Chip was waiting for Jess outside the house. She wondered how Lucy was feeling. Bill continued to go to the pool, and he even awakened his competitive spirit. Lucy pretended to be Bill's wife when they arrived at one of the Whitman stores together. Meanwhile, the schoolboy dipped his finger in the frosting, which upset Mrs. Whitman because now the whole bucket would have to be thrown away. In this case, the boy offered Lucy to try the chocolate. She was surprisingly not embarrassed at all and licked her finger. At the checkout, the trio encountered a bad customer. Meanwhile, Bill's father-in-law entrusted him with setting off fireworks at the family picnic, and he and his young friends went to buy them. After that, they went to the store and started having fun. Paul liked Bill the loser much better, and now he didn't really want him in his house. So Bill decided to spend the night in the yard in a tent. Bill seemed to like being fat, and this time he wanted to shave his arms and legs. Jess looked into Bill's office and was upset to see Lucy there. She wanted to invite her husband out, but changed her mind. The teenager suggested that Bill have a party in a tent. Lucy invited her friend, and everyone got drunk. The friend decided to show off her body and invited Bill to check it out. It all ended in a very bad way. Everyone gathered for a picnic. Even the Whitman couple who were brought by a red-haired girl. Chip also came there. Bill was forbidden to come within 50 meters of him, so the guards dragged him to the parking lot. Bill wanted to drive around the area, but because of the ducks that came out onto the road, he had an accident. As soon as Bill got out of the car, fireworks started going off, ruining the picnic and attracting everyone's attention. The injured Bill went out on the road, where a schoolboy picked him up and took him to the hospital. Meanwhile, Lucy was already having fun with the guy, and she paid him back all the money he had spent on her in recent days. She said that she didn't need a paycheck to be his friend, but reminded him that they were just friends. Jess checked in on Bill. Her father decided not to make a statement about running for mayor, and he is very angry with Bill. But Bill himself doesn't care anymore. He is tired of pleasing his father-in-law. Jess also said that the Whitmans were surprised to learn that she was his wife, not Lucy. Jess offered Bill a ride, but he refused. Later, he went to his father-in-law and demanded that he resign. He also said that in his opinion, hunting defenseless animals was despicable. The father-in-law was not upset, but said that he would have done the same thing to Chip Johnson as his son-in-law. Bill went to meet with the Whitmans. Jess was sitting in the office, having already made all the arrangements. Apparently, she hoped to save the marriage. However, Bill admitted that he was going to give up the franchise. If Jess wanted, she could go into business on her own. He doesn't want to sell donuts or sit in a bank. But most importantly, he doesn't want to be a servant to everyone anymore. They should part ways. The banner was taken down and their shared house was put up for sale. Bill looked in on his young friend and advised him to never pretend otherwise. One day he would find that his life was far from his dream, and Bill himself is off somewhere, not knowing where he is ready to start a new chapter in his life. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.